So today I am going to be talking about one of my favorite ways to whip up like a really quick weeknight dinner. I think that was actually one of Mila's requests, is kind of like quick dinners that don't take a lot of time to put together. So I thought I'd go over some like tips and recommendations for how to do stir fries, because they're really fast and I like it because it's kind of like a kitchen sink dish. You just make do with what you have and then you put it all together. So I have written down some tips here. So tip number one, raid your fridge or pantry for shit, because you always find stuff that is going to expire or is about to expire and you might as well use it. So let's take a look in our fridge. I want to use some pickles, and then I have, I don't know, some leftover tofu and bamboo shoots from another night. And oh, look, this shitty broccoli. I pre-made the rice because I'm making fried rice, and one of the, I guess, like recommendations is that if you make rice ahead of time and then it dries out, it's cold, it tastes really good because each of the rice kernels kind of get fried and it's delicious. I also hoard condiments. That's like my thing. These kind of look fun. They're like Chinese radish pickles. Chinese spam is like the greatest thing ever. It is super salty and a little goes a long way. More pickles, but yeah, like really anything that you want to flavor your stir fry or your fried rice with is like a good bet. So I think tonight I want to use some maybe chili. I don't know. I think I'm gonna make mine spicy. Okay, let's go. Okay. Tip number two. So you want things to be cooking sort of at the same time, and you want to make sure that all the ingredients that you're stir frying together are like relatively the same size. So to do this, and because when you're stir frying, the vessel, like the wok or the pot or the frying pan you're using is really, really hot and it cooks really quickly, it's to your best advantage to kind of prep everything in advance. So here I kind of just threw together stuff that was like literally expiring in our fridge. So we have some like smoked tofu pieces, bamboo shoots, garlic, the pre-made cold fried rice, egg, frozen corn, green onions, this rotting cilantro, and then the broccoli that I mentioned earlier. Okay. And I'm gonna go back here. All right, we're gonna start frying. So tip number three, you ideally want to keep the load that you're stir frying small and manageable, and you want to keep it moving. And the reason is because the number one thing we kind of want to avoid is steaming the food. We don't want to steam the food, we want to stir fry the food. So most of the food gets to touch the bottom of the pan and it actually gets hot. I really like this carbon steel wok rather than cast iron or like aluminum, because I find that it's more sturdy and it's lighter than cast iron. You can season it and makes it kind of non-stick surface, and it's really easy to maintain. But we're actually not going to do that today because I want to show you that anyone can make a really good stir fry even without a wok. And so this is actually an adapted wok. It has a flat bottom for most American stovetops. A traditional wok has a pretty round bottom because they use gas. Let's just use this guy. So this is just like a Tefal non-stick pot. I like using this because it's really light, and then you can like move the pot really easily, and it's non-stick. I'm gonna crank up the heat. Okay, so while it's heating, before I add the oil, maybe we can talk about how you want to season your stir fry or fried rice. So usually you can make a drier stir fry or a wetter one with some kind of sauce. And the holy trinity usually is cornstarch, water, and soy sauce. Everything else is really, really up to you. But tonight, I think I'm gonna use some sesame oil. See, condiment order here. Soy sauce, white pepper, and then maybe some, I think I'm gonna use chili sauce instead of chili flake. And then MSG, because I'm Asian and I like it. You don't need to use a lot, but a little goes a long way. Use a glass. Sadly, this sort of Southeast Asian sambal is not vegan. I think there's like fish in it, but eventually, or not eventually, it generally is just like a chili paste with a bunch of other spices and garlic and dried fish or dried shrimp and oil. It's going a little bad, but that's okay. We're still gonna eat.
Safety third, Lucy, safety third.
What did Lucy say?
Safety first and then or safety even.
Okay, so we're gonna start with a little bit of oil. And by little, I tend to be pretty generous because I don't believe in diet food. And you want to coat. And then some garlic. So I like stir frying with all the aromatics first. And it blends out some yummy flavor. White rice. So I learned from the Chinese historical drama that I'm watching that stir frying is a technique that actually is like relatively recent. It's from the Northern Song Dynasty, so that's like 960 Common Era to like 1200. So relatively speaking, it's a new technique because I think deep frying, steaming, and grilling were the sort of the main techniques back in ancient China. And stir frying came about as a way to kind of preserve freshness. Like you want to cook things really, really fast, so you kind of preserve the flavor and some of the textures of the food. Okay, stuff's starting to smell pretty good. And so usually the guideline is you kind of want to cook things from the things that take the longest to cook to the quickest, because you don't want the stuff to get like super soggy mixed in with the stuff that's a little raw. So you want to like time putting in your ingredients. Tofu here, but you can use any protein that you want. You can use chicken, pork, beef. And then like the broccoli stems.
Can we just review what you've put in there so far?
What was that?
Can we just review what you've put in there so far?
You review what you put in here so far?
Review?
Review.
Oh yeah, so I have garlic, green onions, that was my aromatics, and then the sort of smoked tofu, and then broccoli bits, bamboo shoots.
And that's why is this the order?
Why is this the order? Well, everything here actually cooks relatively fast, so there's really like, for this, no order. But if I were cooking raw meat, this is when I would put it in after the aromatics, because chicken takes a while, pork takes a while. And then I like seasoning every step of the way.
That was some salt.
Oh, Then frozen corn. Oh man, it's freezer burn. Oh well. And you want everything to like be able to move and still touch the bottom of the pan. Like I said, crowding generally is not ideal because it creates steam instead of frying. And then moving everything. And if things do get sticky and you're like, oh no, stuff is sticking to the bottom of the pan, just add a bit of water. Wait until it gets like nice and a little burnt. Grill marks. All right, that's got a bit of color. Oh yeah, look at that tofu. Look at that, look at those nice brown marks. All right, our main event, the cold rice. So I portioned out about like 1 cup. Add it in. Keep things moving. And then now you can see that. So I think I'm going to do a bit of soy sauce, bit of sesame oil. You can customize and tailor whatever you like. And then
Should turn the heat down to 6
I turned down just a little
or 7.
Yeah. And then some of the slightly expired sambal. If it's your first time kind of making this type of dish, you can take as you go. So start seasoning kind of a small quantities and then work your way up because it's easier to take stuff, put stuff in rather than take stuff out. What else? Oh, and then I also like this kind of fermented bean chili sauce. Ellie, this is not super friendly for you, but you can do sugar and salt and soy sauce and pepper. What else can you do? Oh, maybe the sesame oil.
That was white pepper you just put on?
Yeah. So yeah, so it doesn't have to be spicy. We like spicy food at home, so we tend to go to town quite a bit. And then MSG, again, optional. And then lastly, some egg. And then when I put the egg in, I like adding a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick. Again, my little, I'm kind of heavy-handed. So then what I've been taught is to cook the egg on the side. So it kind of gets scrambled a little before mixing in with the rice. Okay, egg is almost cooked. So then you can start mixing. Lastly, some dry crunch, because I think mixing the textures is really interesting. And then I turned off the heat. I'm going to turn off the heat. And then lastly, go green onions. And then that's it. And then you have dinner. That was like, I don't know, like 10, 20 minutes. I don't know. How long was that?
I don't know.
I don't know. But it's kind of like the prep work takes more time than the actual cooking. I think actual cooking is more like 5 minutes. And then my last tip is, yeah, so make sure to cook the ingredients from the stuff that takes the longest to the shortest or the quickest. And then you have yourself some very beautiful fried rice.
Yeah, Ellie, this would kill you.
All right, and that's it. That's stir fry. Keep things moving.
Yay!
And Paul as well. Well done in the camera
That
hall.
was amazing. They were all great.
Our pantry does not look like that though.
Is spam a condiment?
Where are our hosts gone? Yeah. I don't. We have a question and answer period yet to go through, Vivian. Where'd you go?
Was that like her mic drop equivalent? Bye.
Now
That's how
she's
to
just
spit that.
Thomas is stuck in 1994.
How many ingredients did they use, guys?
More than I have in my pantry.
I have 9 by my count.
9. Gee.
Writing it down.
Vivian, how can we make this Andy portion sized? All at one meal, like all in one pan. Is that possible, or would I have to, or like would we have to make 2 different bits?
I was gonna ask that question, Taryn.
Oh, you mean that? You mean like you want to make a bigger portion?
Yeah,
Just get
that
a,
was like Andy's like appetizer.
yeah, get like a bigger pot.
Okay.
Bigger pot. That's the answer.
Since the prep is most of the time that you're taking, making a few different batches of it doesn't actually take that much time.
Is that what you guys do? Like, would you make different batches?
Yeah. So when Nicole and Darlene came over, like I kind of asked Nicole and Darlene to each make their version of a fried rice that they like, and they each made like, yeah, their own customized version of their stir fried rice.
Thanks, Vivian.
It's super yummy and it's super easy.
I have a nerdy question.
Yeah.
Nerdy comment. It looks amazing. And it's an interesting thing happening now in cooking and cuisine where chefs like to use gas, but as we go to more energy efficient buildings, we won't have gas in buildings anymore. So seeing you cooking on the electric hob was good. You notice any difference? If you prefer gas?
Yeah, electric definitely is harder because there's a lot of residual heat. So with gas, you turn it off and it's like, there's no residual heat, like it's instantly off. And with like an electric stovetop, it doesn't get as hot as gas. But someone told me that induction is actually really good. Like it can get quite hot.
Yeah.
Or pots and pans for it.
You need a special pot for induction, yeah?
Yeah, because it's using
Yeah.
magnetic field. Magnetic field? Yeah, it needs to be special pots and pans.
University of Victoria are going ahead building a passive house student residence with a large kitchen that makes lots of meals. And there's a big discussion about how to, I just listened to a Zoom webinar this week about how to move away from like all the gas cooking and the open, like people like to see food being cooked and changing towards electric. So they're also getting like City of Vancouver kind of promote celebrity chefs to display how they still work with electric or how they're moving to work with electric, because then if you can get chefs to convince people to do it, then should be less demand like in new like luxury condos to not need gas.
Yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen because in like Hong Kong and China, people are really attached to cooking with gas because that's how it's supplied as a way to cook. And I don't know what restaurants are moving towards. Because it's all about that, like, there's a saying in Cantonese, it's all about like that, like the wok, like the hot air from the wok is like a really sacred thing. You want to make it, you want to be able to taste the heat.
More chili. Just sriracha.
Yeah. I tend to make a lot of food when I get kind of homesick. It's like, oh, well, I'm just gonna make some food, and reminds me of like being with my family and eating stuff from there.
Like the way I drink lots of whiskey when I get homesick.
By the way, I just got this apron. It's from Belfast.
I drink whiskey as well. I just don't have the good excuse.
So you're homesick, works grand.
Sorry, Vivian, what temperature was the cooker at? Was it up to the highest?
It's up to the highest until the end, yeah.
Okay.
So that's why you want to prep everything in advance, because you don't have time to be like, I'm gonna chop some broccoli, and then meanwhile everything's burning in the pan.
And it wouldn't be the same to just kind of, I don't know, fluctuate the temperature or put it back down to.
You could turn it down, but then you also want to keep in mind other stuff that's already in the pan, because you don't want to like overcook stuff.
Yeah. Cool.
Delicate.
Mm-hmm.
Does cooking at that high of a temperature warp your like aluminum pans?
I think so, as long as it gets hot.
So you're saying it's damaging the pans?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't think so.
You'd know. They'd have a rounded bottom.
Yeah, I haven't had an issue with that.
Isn't it spicy?
This feels cruel that you're not sharing with us.
It's not spicy enough.
That seems unlikely.
I mean, she's sharing with me. Doesn't that count?
Not really.
Dave, I have a question. If you were to hoard Costco style sizes of one or two things to make all of your stir fries, what would you have?
Spam, clearly.
Thomas is coming at us from the past.
Tommy, you might have to like type your answers in, and one of us will ask it for you.
Tommy's laughing to a joke that Meegs made.
What is?
Tommy, tell people the coronavirus is coming.
I would say green onions. Like, I think green onions is good on mostly everything. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. And garlic. Garlic is also, yeah, you can't go wrong with garlic.
Garlic about sauce. Oh, who was that? You go.
Garlic, onions, and chili. They make everything good.
Yeah. And also, oh yeah, I bought a lot of ginger the day before. Oh, for those of you who are using like a knife to peel ginger, you actually don't need to. Just use a spoon.
I only discovered this recently. It's amazing.
Whoa. Go over that again. What?
You can just scrape the skin off with a teaspoon.
Exactly.
It's weird. It's crazy.
Very crazy.
Huh.
I have a spoon.
Ginger.
With a demonstration of
Corey's
spoon
gonna
ginger.
grab the ginger.
Can it work with plastic spoon?
Oh yeah.
You like the hardest part for me, like the vegetable thing I get.
I've not been peeling it. I've just been throwing in the skin.
Oh.
Isn't this?
I feel like that seems like the easiest option. That just don't worry about it. Don't worry about this. Just throw it.
I don't peel anything except oranges and bananas.
I'm gonna ask oranges.
Does anyone else have two wellies?
Oh yeah.
Just you, really, just you.
Oh yeah, from different angles.
Yeah. Hey Vivian, when you're talking saucy sauce, That's the hardest part for me. You're like, oh, it's so easy. You just like whatever sauce you want to make. I'm like, no, that's what I came here for. Tell me what kind of sauce to make. But then you said cornstarch, water, and soy sauce.
Yeah, so that's
Is
good.
is that like a base, or is that like the finished product?
That would be the base. You could make that with like broccoli. Like, you know, when you go to like, I don't know, the food court and you have like broccoli and beef or whatever. Yeah, there's definitely soy sauce and cornstarch in it. That's what make the sauce like really thick.
Yeah. If you were gonna make like your go-to sauce with a few more ingredients that we might have on hand, what might it be?
Like there's some sort of chili paste.
I think you can make something sweet. So you can like go with like a miso, like a tablespoon of miso, stir fry with maybe a little bit of honey and salt. I can't think of anything right now that is very common. Like soy sauce, sesame oil. Black bean sauce, is that a thing? Everybody have that? Janice, you must have that at home.
Asian. I love black bean sauce.
Yeah, black bean sauce, garlic, can't go wrong.
I'm the least Asian.
Laura and
Ever heard.
Parvik, you missed out an Irish delegate from the UN.
Potato!
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 James, it's like a reunion.
I'm getting homesick.
Wait, that's our president.
Actually, James and Crystal's kitchen might have a lot of inspiration as well in their pantry.
Ooh, Nicole gave us an answer.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, lots of oil.
You ever add lemon juice or lime juice?
If you have a really good nonstick pan, you could go lighter on the oil. That was a little excessive on my part.
But the oil is good. Fat makes it great.
What type of oil usually?
So definitely something with a high smoking point. So not olive oil. Also, olive oil has flavor. So we want to pick something neutral, like canola, grapeseed oil, vegetable oil.
Coconut oil.
I would not do coconut oil.
But all the hipsters love that stuff.
Yeah, I don't think you're supposed to like heat it up though.
I thought you rubbed that on your face.
I love coconut oil too, but again, it doesn't have a high smoking point, and so it might just burn.
Laura says it does.
I think it's. He's such a telltale. He has to be on mute, and then he tells you.